So good morning, everybody. I'm Tonjia Coverdale, and I do not have slides because I think slides are boring, so I will be working the room, and I love the fact that this is a small room because then I get to really get a chance to interact with all of you. So a little bit about me, as you see up there, I have 28 years in technology. I've worked my way up from being a developer all the way to a 3-time CXO, a CEO, CIO, most recently a Chief Technology Strategy Officer. I have worked in every vertical you can imagine in technology. I've worked in every size organization, from startups all the way to Fortune 100 and global conglomerates, and in about 7 different industries. So I consider myself a very well-rounded technologist, but that is not why I'm here to talk to you today. I am here to talk to you about leadership. And so excited to actually make it here today because I'm supposed to be at a board meeting in Nashville. Actually, I was there yesterday at my board meeting, but I told them I've got leader friends in Columbus that I need to go talk to. So hopped on a plane late last night. I'm here barely, and after this, I need to go join on Zoom, but y'all were more important than my board meeting. So I do want to let you know that I wanted to make sure I was here today. So my talk, be a star, transformational leadership from the inside out. And so the be a star part, I think, is a little bit of a double entendre. So we'll talk about 2 ways to be a star. But stars do what? What do stars do? They shine. So as leaders, we need to make sure that we are cultivating and preserving your inner shine, and not only shine for you, but the shine for your team. So here's how I developed my leadership style. This is probably going to be the most different leadership talk you've ever heard, and that's fine because I'm probably one of the most different leaders you ever meet. But I spent about 14 years of my technology career actually being a tenure track professor. So this is exciting that I get to be back in the classroom. And so I specialize in growing thousands of future leaders, students. And in addition to that, I'm a mom. And my kids are awesome. And I specialize in growing them. So a little bit about them. My son started college at 12, and serious college at 12. And my daughter is now 2 varsity sports. She's a senior in high school. She's getting all her college acceptances in right now, but she's doing it test optional, no APs, no all the stress classes. She's doing it her way with straight A's because I grew her to her highest potential. Why does this matter? Because you lead people. You don't lead the technology. You need to understand your people before you're able to help them grow to their highest potential. And that's what I'm here to share with you to do. But first, you have to work on yourself. The first thing as a leader, you need to know who you are, because if you don't know who you are, why should I follow you? Because leaders need followers. And here's where IT gets it all wrong. So when I finally did make the leap into corporate, I realized leadership in corporate was all messed up and people were getting it all wrong because people were demanding followers. Follow me because Workday says I'm your leader. And you need to follow me because you get paid to follow me. But that doesn't work because people are only going to follow you halfway. And guess what? They're going to be looking to leave because people don't leave roles. They leave leaders. And so we know then the leadership part is so important and really focusing on your people. So who are you is the first step. And if you have something to write with, type with, get your phones out. This is interactive. This is like class. I really want you to write that down. Take 2 seconds. I'm going to say to the class, leaders, who are you? Write that down. I am whoever you are. I am. Who are you anchored in being? And so if you say, I am a CIO at X company, and that's wrong. Because you're telling me that if you left that job, you would be nothing. Try again. If you're writing, I am such and such dad and such his mom and such his husband, wife, or friend, and you're telling me you didn't exist before your kids and before your family. Who are you? And until you figure that out, you won't be able to portray that to the world. So here's how I help people figure out who they are. First, you can do it one of 2 ways. Number one, you can write adjectives about yourself because it doesn't matter what room you're in, that's not going to change. So what that looks like for me, I am a luminous being who strives to elevate the lives of everyone around me. So that's my own, who am I? That doesn't matter if I'm here in my board meeting, at my kids' swim meet, at my kids' football game. I am always a luminous being who is striving to elevate the lives of people around me. That doesn't change. So I'm challenging you to figure out that luminosity or whatever adjective you want to use for yourself. Second way I do it is I have a mission and a vision, and I have core values for myself. I run myself as a company. I have a mission, a vision, and core values. My mission is based in the who I am I mentioned. Okay, so my mission, I strive to elevate the lives of everyone I encounter. My vision, I will inspire as many people as my voice can touch during my lifetime. My core values, authenticity, empathy, integrity, positivity, honesty, and fun. Yes, fun. That's my core value. And so, why this matters as a leader? Because I get to articulate every single day and embody who I am, and there is no doubt, because your team, let me tell you, your team murmurs when you're not there. They talk to each other. They talk to each other when you are wavering on your decisions. If you tell them to do something Monday and you change it Tuesday and you change it Wednesday because you're not rooted in the you that you are, it makes them feel unsettled. They don't feel safe. And so it's important that you are firm in the you that you are so your team feels safe around you because they're watching you for direction. And if you're waving like the wind, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, where's this team going? And right now, y'all, IT is scary. We just heard our friend nearshoring. We have people that have been impacted. I've been impacted. It's scary, and we don't need you as leaders to be unsteady in who you are to scare your teams even more. So that's number one. Who are you? Work on that. That's your homework for today. And come up with your you statement, mission, vision, core values. They don't change. So the second thing, as we're working through this STAR model of you, so inside out, right now, before you can even lead anybody, we're working on you. We're not working on your team yet. You first. Okay. The second thing is, now that you're clear in who you are, how you're presenting to the world, you're better able to create. You're better able to innovate because you are clear on who you want to be, and you're clear on who you are, and so that takes a little bit out of the fear out of what I'm bringing forth. When you're not clear in who you are, you're afraid to share your ideas with people because what are they going to think about me? What are they going to think about my idea? Clearly, friends, I don't care what you think about me because I like me. And therefore, I'm free to create. That's what I'm saying. And you want to be in a space where you're free-flowing with your ideas. Because when you're free-flowing with your ideas, your team is also feeling free to express their ideas and create this psychologically safe space where everyone is flowing. Because you feel safe to flow. You feel safe to make mistakes. Because you know that you're not defined by the mistakes you make. You're not defined by anything but how you've defined yourself. So this is how it then creates free-flowingness. And again, this is a model I've used thousands of times for years. Okay, now, you know who you are. You've got those ideas, the juice is flowing. You're confident in them because you're not really afraid what people think about you because you've defined who you are. The next thing that happens with you is you become more confident. You know, as leaders, again, they're watching. Your team is watching you. You've got to have like your shoulders back, your chest out, your head up, even when the day is less than optimal. You have got to let them think at least you're okay, because again, the world is scary right now for them, and you want them to be able to focus on their work. So you have to be able to be confident. But the confidence kind of comes and people say, oh my gosh, Tonjia, you are like the most confident person I've met. It's because I know who I am. I am comfortable in my ideas and how I share them. And so I am then that those continued winnings gives me more confidence. And so that confidence bleeds into your team. This is what I mean by inside out. When they see you this way, they are going to start being this way. Inside out, like a star. You are permeating this light to your team just by being, just in your beingness of a leader. So, you're confident. You're walking with conviction. You are really believing in yourself and believing in your team. And what that does is it creates community with your team. See, we already talked about in the beginning that being a leader is not about, Michael, you need to follow me because I said so. Michael knows I would never say this, so that's why I'm picking on him. You need to follow me because I said so. Do this like this because I said so. It doesn't work. So when you're starting to show more care for yourself, you're going to show more care naturally for your team. You're going to love your team. It's okay to love your team. It's actually probably great and advisable to love your team. Care about them as people. Your one-on-ones should not be a status meeting. If you're just finding out what's going on with the project in the one-on-one, then we need to talk about your leadership style a little bit more. Your one-on-one should be, how was your weekend? How's prom going? How was your son's soccer game? How was your trip to Hocking Hills? Let your team feel that love. Feel comfortable that you actually care about them. Care equals loyalty. People will stay for whatever reason, and they will perform, and they will follow, and they will do whatever you tell them to do if they feel like you truly care. And that's where I think technology leaders get it all wrong, because everybody's focusing on the numbers and numbers. Yes, you can, but there's a way to do this within this culture of care that's so important right now, especially as resources are scarce and resources are moving and people are being impacted. We have to care. So that love is so important as a leader, and they will feel that. So again, you are the star. You're brightening everyone's day. You're walking in the room and they're like, oh my gosh, my leader is here. Yes, I want to be in this meeting. Have you ever been in meetings that you really wanted to be in because the leader was just like that great? You want to be that person. You don't want to walk in the room and they're like, oh hell, this person again. You don't want to be that person, because you've been in those too. I know you've been in those meetings. You've probably been in more of those meetings than the star meetings. But we want you to be, yeah, exactly. We want you to be the star. You want to walk in and they're like, oh, like the violins are playing because you're walking in and they're like, oh, we're ready to just be here and work. This is what happens when you build yourself. Build yourself before you try to go build other people. And I think that's what happens. Because see, pause here in the model. How our leadership became broken is because we usually were promoted to leadership because we were the best analyst or the best developer or the best architect or the best, not because you were the best person. So now you're this technical mind and you are so smart, but you never took a chance. You never took the time to build yourself up as a person. And now you want to lead people. And then that's where the model is broken. So we're putting the leader, the person, back into the leadership model. Okay, recap. For those who are keeping track, we defined who we are. Therefore, we're comfortable in sharing our ideas and everybody else is comfortable. Now we're all confident because we're psychologically safe. We're not like, oh my gosh, I can't say anything. We're feeling the love for ourselves and each other. Everyone's feeling safe and happy and they're wanting to be productive because y'all, do you realize that happiness creates greater productivity? And this is not like, Tonjia's bunnies and rainbows philosophy on life. It is, but it isn't. When you're happy, your body actually emits certain hormones, right? And those hormones, they relax the veins in your brain, and they relax and they ease the pathways. So your mind is actually more free flowing. You're actually more creative when you're happy. When you're unhappy, the opposite happens. You get constricted, you get into this fight or flight, and you're not able to create. So people are actually more creative. People are more productive when they're happy. All right, next. So after now everybody realized that you're just loving, this is a great community. I love my leader. I love my team. Not to say we don't have bad days. It's like a family, right? You still have bad days, but you love your family. It's the same thing as your team. The next thing is now what you're speaking, people will trust. They trust you. Your team needs to trust you. They have to. Because the job of a leader is not to micromanage and do the job for your people. You have to give them the skills to do it. And when you walk away, you need to trust them that they're getting it done. And they need to trust you that you gave them the right direction. Or else they're spinning their wheels trying to figure out what really needs to happen. And productivity is stifled. So when you have created this community, this team, you're speaking and people are trusting you because you're speaking with clarity, you're speaking with care, you're speaking with consistency and confidence. And you are the leader. So you have to be able to speak and everyone feels comfortable in listening. I know we've all had leaders and they say something, you're like, I don't know about that. Yeah, that's wrong. You might not say it to them, but I know you're like, no, I'm not doing that. And to you, that seems like a good idea. But as being part of this team, you're not marching in the direction. Everybody's marching in their own direction. So when you create this environment, you're creating a space where people want to march together. And you're moving the work together. You're moving it. Okay? And so once you do that, now you have clear vision for your team. And everyone's following your vision for your team. Because you've been able to show they can trust you. You care about them. That you're confident, you're creative, and you are clear in who you are. And now the vision for the team is set. We're all marching. I love this leader. I'm going to war with him or her. This is it. This is what we're doing. Once that happens, your team is ready. Your team is now aligned. So you started with you. Inside you, you're working on you, permeating out, that gathers the team. Only then can you go out to the organization and be a trusted partner. Because let me tell you, I've worked on both sides of the coin in technology. And for the entire almost 30 years of my career, there is always this rift between business and IT. Why don't they like us? We are always the problem. Are you the problem in your companies too? Like, did they tell you, we can't do this because IT said, IT didn't, right? That's the thing. And I honestly think it's because we're a whole bunch of smart people who just got promoted to leaders and we really don't know how to relate to people that well. And we mean well. There's a way to say, no, we can't do this because this is a security risk without saying, no, we can't do this because this is a security risk. We need to learn how to speak their language. So now we're together as an organization, being a star from the inside IT out to the rest of the organization. So there are 4 planes of this. Leaders, you have to learn how to manage up. I think that's where leaders get it wrong 1,000% of the time. We're so focused on our people influencing down that we don't even know how to manage the people up here who really can make or break what we're trying to do with our teams. How do you manage up? Because obviously it's not like you can say, hey, CIO, CEO, listen to me because it says so on Workday. See, that doesn't work with them. That doesn't work. What you need to do is build relationships up. Your one-on-ones up should absolutely be about their family, their trips, their whatever. Even if that's not what they want to talk about, you have got to find a way to weave some personal things in there so they can see you as a person and they know you see them as a person. It's so important. Don't go into your leader, so this is you as a follower. Don't go into your leader's meeting only, unless it's like crisis, right? Okay, we understand crisis, but on a regular day with here's KPIs, here's this, here's that's all they're going to see you as. They don't know you. They know your output. And the social identity theory says that when people feel connected to you as part of an in-group, they want to see you succeed. So you have to find a way for them to feel connected to you and you connected to them. Find one thing that you share that's a hobby. Your leader golfs, you figure out if you golf. Even if you said, hey, I went to whatever, I went to the course this weekend. Yeah, just whatever, just get them to see you as a person, as a human, because you're going to need them for something. And we've seen this time again, their buddies usually get the something, right? Has that been your experience? Their buddies get the something. So now we're throwing IT out the door. We're throwing tech leadership out the door. This is a whole other leadership talk. Be their buddy so you can get the favor. That's how you manage up. We already talked about how to manage down. Now, at this level, you have to learn how to manage across to your peers, which I think is just as difficult as managing up, because they all have their priorities, and sometimes you are competing with them for the resource. That's why you got to be their friend. This is exactly why. I know it's kind of cutthroat. I'm sorry, but listen, I'm trying to get y'all to win. So the second plane. So the first plane is managing up, managing down, and now we need to learn how to manage across. I recommend, and what has worked very well, again, in this wellness-informed humanity leadership model, meet with them early and often, especially your security person. Make that person your best friend, because that's usually the person that says no. But it's not that you're trying to win them over. You're really trying to understand their goals and their priorities so that you can weave them into your own. The goal: meet with each of your peers regularly on a cadence, even if you don't have shared business that you can think of. Because when you do have shared business, or you need to collaborate or go in together to your leader, you already have built that rapport and that relationship with them. Don't just go to them when something's broken, when you need something. That is not how you manage across. It can be once a month. You don't have to meet with them much, once a quarter. But make sure that you're meeting and you're building that rapport. So now you're influencing your team. We worked on yourself. You influence your team. You're able to influence your leader. You're influencing your IT peers. The next plane is the diagonal plane. So we're drawing an asterisk. You have got to learn how to lead your business partners. You have got to learn how to lead your business partners. And it's not by saying, this is our architecture, this is our infrastructure, this is our platform, this is our suite, that's not. The way you lead your business partner is by learning their business. So when I started 28 years ago, yes, we were technologists, we were focused on infrastructure, all the things I mentioned. But now we need to focus on business. We are business enablers. Flip the script. We are not technologists. We are technology enablers. That means we have to understand our business partner's business, and that's the only way they're going to want to do anything with you without saying IT is the problem. You have to learn what they do. Understand their mission, their vision for their organizations. Understand their values for the organization. Understand their current strategy. And act like you care, even though you don't. Well, maybe you do. But act like you care. Because this is what's going to matter when you need to lean on the finance organization. You know, they are the main ones. Y'all, make your CFO your very best friend. Seriously, CFO, very best friend. When I was a CIO, me and CFO were this tight, and I used to get everything I wanted because of all of what I'm sharing. But finance organization, learn to talk to them about the value of what you're bringing. Not we need this upgrade because these features and because we need to and the patch and the blah, blah, blah. How is this going to move their business forward? How is this going to move the business forward? Learn how to speak their language. And when you do that, you'll see that resistance will subside because they see you as a valued, trusted partner. And none of this can happen until you do the work on yourself. If you're still trying to go out and you're not sure who you are and you don't want to share ideas because you're not confident, your team has infighting because they don't feel confident in you, you're speaking out of two sides of your mouth because you haven't decided what your vision is going to be, you can't influence throughout the organization. That's the double entendre of the STAR model. You are radiating light to your team while then radiating light to the larger organization. But it starts with you. You, each of you. It starts like you are so powerful beyond what you even can imagine if you just tap into the you that's you. And that will enact others to tap into the them that's them. And then you'll look around and the whole organization is transforming because you just did the work on yourself. And so that's why I called it Be a Star, transforming the organization from the inside out. And I've seen it work in my students. I do this all the time. This is sort of how I live my life. It's just really the first time when Doug asked me what I wanted to talk about, I was like, I think I'm ready to codify this thing that I do. Because I just waltz into organizations like, hello, everybody, I'm here. And things just start happening, and people are like, oh my gosh, I want to work on Tonjia's team, and everybody's like fighting for to get on my requisitions, and people are like, we had this open on the other team for like months and nobody applied. Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason. And so things happen. I'm like, how is this happening? What am I doing? I'm literally just being myself. So thank you, Doug, for forcing me to sit down and like think about what that is, because I have taken teams that were low performing from other leaders. 2 months later, they're like the most highest performing teams in the company. I didn't do anything but care for them and listen to them and love on them. I've repaired business relationships that were, under repair for decades. All I did was listen and love on them and say I could help. So I'm sharing that in a world of zeros and ones and AI, that if you're just a person, your team's performance will be astronomical and you'll be that star that your company is needing. So thank you so much. That is my time, y'all. So happy to be here. Thank you, Doug.
Can I have the mic, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Michael? Great color.